Welcome everybody to CPS News. It is Monday night. It is the middle of June and it is getting hot out there.
It's getting hot, but it's still, it's been very gloomy, so it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I actually missed Puerto Vallarta. I was gone over the weekend and I missed the humidity. Can you believe that?
Yeah, no, I can't believe that at all. Gloomy, humid, and hot sounds perfect. So I hope you're hanging in there with it. I hope you're hanging in there with the weather. It sounds like you're doing great, but with that, let's get on to the headlines. What do you think?
To the news, yes.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go with the headlines, everybody. Here we go.
Mayor Munguia unveils restoration plan to preserve Vallarta's beloved Isla. Puerto Vallarta cracks down on unsafe tour boats amid growing nautical disorder. Puerto Vallarta begins citywide dengue blitz to eliminate mosquito threat. In our sports segment, Puerto Vallarta aims to revive iconic sporting events and boost athletic tourism. In entertainment tonight, Hummingbird Festival takes flight at Viarta Botanical Garden in August. And finally, be sure to stay tuned for tonight's Voices of Viarta segment as Brent interviews local podcaster and overall cool dude, Barry Kessler. All that and more, only on CPS News with Jesse and Brent, the news that speaks your language.
In our first story tonight, Bahía de Banderas is stepping up its security game. The local security and transit department says the city's surveillance center will soon be connected to the Tepic C3, Nayarit's main security command hub. The goal is faster response times and better coverage, especially at the city entry and the exit points. The plan includes about 49 new cameras, but the rollout has been slowed by internet and signal issues, especially along the coast. Still, once the system is fully online, officials say it will mean quicker and more coordinated responses from all levels of government during emergencies, which is great. Thank you so much for our first story tonight to Miguel Gonzalez Guerra.
All right, now let me tell you about this protest or rally that happened this Saturday, endorsed by Democrats aboard. Here's Joe with the details.
Approximately 250 U.S. patriots and friends gathered on Oscar's North Lawn in Puerto Vallarta on Saturday in solidarity with the local No King's Day rally. Events and marches were held throughout the U.S. and the world. The preliminary estimates by organizers are that upwards of 6 million people attended over 2,000 events, mostly in the U.S., demonstrating opposition to the U.S. administration's policies and actions. The event was promoted by NoKings.org as a day of defiance to show the U.S. Congress and the world that the people are, quote, taking action to reject authoritarianism and demonstrate what democracy really looks like, end quote. Here in PV, after a moment of silence for the recently slain Democratic political leaders in Minnesota, the crowd held signs, listened to speakers encouraging principles of democracy that are under attack in the U.S. by President Donald Trump and his followers, and sang songs. Speakers affirmed opposition to, quote, the big billionaire boondoggle bill, end quote, currently in the Senate, that threatens to gut Medicaid, Medicare, and Social Security, thereby adding trillions to the U.S. national debt. While the rally was not specifically related to the recent ICE and immigration protests in Los Angeles and many other big cities in the U.S., speakers and the crowd voiced support of the U.S. Constitution's guarantee for due process and justice for everyone in the U.S. The event ended with information on how to deal with the very personal changes that Washington, D.C. is bringing, how to vote from outside the U.S. for those living abroad, and how to contact their congressional representatives and senators to make their voices heard. Local organizers made it clear that while all are welcome, this demonstration was strictly focused on the U.S., reading the following statement, quote, and to our neighbors in Mexico, we want to express our gratitude and respect. We are committed to being peaceful, law-abiding residents and visitors in this beautiful country. In accordance with Mexican law, we do not participate in Mexican politics. Our focus is solely on U.S. issues and voter outreach. End quote. The No King's Day rallies were held on Saturday, June 14th to counter the military parade held at Donald Trump's insistence on this 79th birthday of his, which is also Flag Day, and the U.S. Army's 250th birthday. There have been at least 6 differently themed rallies across the U.S. and world demonstrating against the U.S. administration's policies and actions this year. The largest one prior to today was the Hands Off event on April 5th, at 1,400 locations, hosting 3 to 5 million estimated participants. This latest worldwide event, No Kings, was held in significantly more locations, involving many more people. Joe Wasik, CPS News.
All right, now a word from our sponsor, Cerámicas Exclusivas. June is here, and with it, a time to celebrate the fathers who build, protect, and inspire. What better way to honor Dad than by upgrading the place he calls home? Well, at Cerámicas Exclusivas, you will find everything to help create a space that reflects his strength, style, and good taste, from elegant flooring and modern bathrooms to those special touches that make a house feel uniquely his. Whether he's dreaming of a relaxing outdoor area or a bold new look for his favorite room, Cerámicas Exclusivas has what you need to bring his vision to life. Stop by Calle Federación 390 in Ixtapa, Puerto Vallarta, or start exploring today at ceramicasexclusivas.com. Cerámicas Exclusivas, helping you build the home Dad truly deserves.
Thanks, Jesse. So in our next story tonight, the mayor announced a plan to restore and protect a beloved island in Viarta, addressing recent challenges while preserving its history and improving safety. Here's Barbara with this story.
The mayor, Luis Ernesto Munguia, announced a comprehensive plan to restore and protect this cherished site, historically known as La Isla de Santa Clara. It was formed in 1926 from river floods and later expanded in 1975 to prevent flooding. It became a cultural hub with museums, workshops, and of course, its beautiful bridges. Today, it's a favorite spot for locals and tourists, offering tranquility, cultural activities, and beautiful scenic views. However, the island faces challenges. Over time, local vendors and restaurants have crowded the area. It's diminished public spaces and is risking the island's unique character. The mayor emphasizes respect for regulations and aims to restore the order by regulating concessions and improving key infrastructure. His plan includes building new walkways, installing modern lighting and benches, and most importantly, constructing protective retaining walls to prevent landslides and erosion caused by past destabilizations. Munguia also underscored that these improvements will preserve the historical architecture and enhance safety, ensuring that the island remains a safe, vibrant, and accessible space for generations to come. The initiative aims to protect the island's cultural and ecological value, making it a sustainable and beloved landmark for all of Vallarta's residents and visitors. With information from Miguel Gonzalez, Guerra, Barbara Lapointe, CPS News.
So first of all, happy Father's Day. So to your father, to my father who's out there.
To all fathers.
All your fathers. So big shout out. I mean, I'm going to just take it for a second and say big shout out to my father who's been coming to Puerto Vallarta for a long time with his partners and just finds it so amazing and inclusive here. So happy Father's Day to you.
Yes, happy Father's Day to Brent's dad and also to my dad. I went to visit him over the weekend. That's why I was gone. If you still have your dad here, well, enjoy him.
Absolutely.
But with that, we got to go on a commercial break, right, Brent?
Absolutely. Us, the dads and everybody, come back in just a couple minutes. Thank you. Welcome back, everybody. And in our next story tonight, Maria is going to tell you about how Puerto Vallarta is cracking down on overcrowded boats and unregulated rentals to improve safety on the water, which is something we all want. Here is the story.
Puerto Vallarta is grappling with nautical disorder this summer as overcrowded tour boats, unregulated rentals, and safety oversights plague its busy bays. We've seen overcapacity vessels and minimal life jackets, warns a local maritime official. Small operators are undercutting licensed services, creating hazards on the water. Many of the issues stem from informal vendors renting jet skis and small boats without permits or safety checks. With little oversight, these operations flout regulations and increase risk. Local authorities estimate hundreds of such vessels now operate daily. The result? Congested waterways, raised risk of collisions, and delays in official patrols or rescue responses. Recent minor collisions and near misses led authorities to begin issuing fines and temporarily banning certain watercraft from high-traffic zones. Authorities say they're ramping up patrols and demanding permits, life jackets, and operator training. Tourists are urged only board licensed vessels and always wear your safety gear before heading out. Officials hope that strict enforcement and public awareness will restore order and keep this iconic tourist destination safe and enjoyable. With information from Israel Torres, Maria Ammerman, CPS News.
Well, officials say these efforts aim to keep Puerto Vallarta's water safe and enjoyable for everyone. If that's the case, I'm all for it. Now here's Joe again with our next story tonight, and it's about dengue again.
Puerto Vallarta has officially launched an aggressive 4-week operation to combat dengue following a global surge in cases reported by the World Health Organization. Quote, led by Mayor Luis Munguia and top health officials from Jalisco and federal institutions, this coordinated effort aims to eliminate mosquito breeding sites and prevent new infections. Already, 78 cleanup campaigns this year have removed nearly 600 tons of mosquito breeding materials and 5,000 tires. These early actions have helped reduce weekly dengue cases from 15 to just 9 over 2 months. The operation includes fogging 80,000 homes across 5,800 city blocks, deploying granulated insecticides, and house-to-house inspections by over 100 health workers. With support from local, state, and federal teams, this unified strategy is already working, says Dr. Jaime Alvarez Zayas, urging residents to join the effort. Quote, citizens are encouraged to follow the cover, flip, throw out, and wash method to eliminate standing water at home. Officials stress the success of this campaign depends on community involvement. Puerto Vallarta's dengue fight is a model of joint action, aimed not just at numbers, but at saving lives. End quote. With information from Miguel Gonzalez Guerra, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Puerto Vallarta is getting ready for its close-up as it hosts the 67th Ariel Awards, the top honors in Mexican cinema, this September 20th. The announcement came from Jalisco's Secretary of Tourism and somebody I've met before, Michelle Friedman Hirsch, during the Guadalajara International Film Festival. Calling it a major step forward for Vallarta's place in the film world, Puerto Vallarta first hit the big screen in 1963, as you all know, with Night of the Iguana, and now is making movie history again with over 800 guests that are expected to come in, including actors, directors, and over 80 producers. More than 10 million pesos will be invested in the event, giving a strong boost to the city's cultural and economic scene. The Ariel del Oro Awards will honor legendary actresses Patricia Reyes Spindola and Jacqueline Andre, as well as Cinematic Projection Workers Union. And with influencers bringing more than 50 million followers along for the ride, Puerto Vallarta is about to go viral again, this time as a rising star in Mexican cinema. Thank you again to Miguel Gonzalez Guerra for that info.
I'm so excited about the Ariels coming to Puerto Vallarta. It's going to be a VIP event. Now, here's a quick message from our sponsor, Katrina Cantina. All right, now, in response to a rise in criminal activity crossing municipal borders, authorities from all three levels of government are strengthening security operations between Puerto Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas. State police, in coordination with the Navy, the National Defense, the National Guard, and Bahia's municipal police have increased patrols in high-risk areas, including San Vicente, San Jose, and Bucerias. Special attention is being given to rural dirt roads that link the two municipalities, routes increasingly used for illicit activity. These joint operations aim to prevent crime from spilling over and ensure the safety of local residents. Officials say the main goal is to protect families and maintain a peaceful environment for, day-to-day life across the region. Active integrity coordination will continue as part of a broader strategy to restore and preserve public safety. Thank you so much, Israel Torres, for this information. Now, in our next story tonight, Barbara will give us an update you probably saw on social media about the sea lion seen on the beaches last week.
A sea lion that drew attention last week on Puerto Vallarta's popular Playa Los Muertos has sadly died. According to local authorities, beachgoers first spotted the marine mammal resting on the sand, and although it just appeared tired, officials initially believed it was just recuperating. The sea lion was monitored and left undisturbed by concerned citizens and authorities. However, days later, the same animal was found lifeless on Playa Los Burros, a beach just north of the city. Experts believe it likely swam up the coast before succumbing to exhaustion or illness, though the exact cause of death has not yet been determined. Authorities remind the public, if you see a stranded marine animal, don't touch it, keep your distance, and immediately report it to the Environmental or Wildlife Services. This unfortunate event highlights the need for continued awareness and protection of our marine life, especially during times of environmental stress. With information from Guadalupe Arce, Barbara Lapointe, CPS News.
Well, that's too bad. I was really pulling for that little guy. Okay, now up next, Puerto Vallarta will charge businesses monthly fees for sidewalk structures to keep public sidewalks clear. Here is Tony with the details.
In Puerto Vallarta, businesses using public sidewalks for structures like awnings, fences, and roofing will now face a monthly fee of approximately 5,000 pesos plus their regular business license. Jorge Alberto Valderas Betancourt, Director of Urban Development, confirmed that his department, along with business licensing and regulations, is visiting restaurants and shops to invite them to regularize their situation. Until now, many had not received the required permits. The new enforcement includes ensuring free pedestrian access on sidewalks, especially for wheelchairs and strollers, with only the excess space being permitted for use under what is now labeled use and enjoyment of public space. This comes after a surge in sidewalk encroachments in neighborhoods like Versalles, Emiliano Zapata, and Cinco de Diciembre, where businesses have placed tables, awnings, and roofs that block the pedestrian traffic. Officials say that this new cost may deter business owners from maintaining these structures, as many may decide it's not worth the expense. The city claims to strike a balance between business growth and public access. With information from MMG, Tony DiGesso, CPS News.
Well, thanks for hanging in there with us, and clearly we might have some more open sidewalks soon.
Yes,
Okay.
or less, and people are willing to pay whatever.
Fair enough. Okay, so hang in there just a little bit longer. We're about to go to a break, but when we come back from break, we're going to have Voices of Art, and you're not going to want to miss this one.
know.
We've got Barry Kessler
It's a
on
good
set. He's an amazing voice, an amazing podcaster. Can't wait to have him here.
Yes, but we're going to go pay the bills first, so stick around. We'll be back.
Welcome back, everybody. We've reached the interview segment for today, and it is Voices of Viarta. And I am sitting across from Barry Kessler, my personal friend and the host of the Puerto Vallarta Travel Show podcast. Welcome, Barry.
Thank you very much, Brent.
Awesome to have you here today. So we have a limited amount of time, so let's dive into it. I know a lot about you, but our viewers may not know that much. So first of all, you've got this amazing podcast, this travel show. I listen to it all the time. I learn a lot about Puerto Vallarta from it, which is great. But let's get a little validity around you. Like, how long have you been coming to Vallarta?
My wife and I came to Puerto Vallarta for the first time in 1984. We were 24 years old, so it's 40 years ago.
Yes.
And we're looking at a vacation place we had just met, and it was either Hawaii or Mexico, and my parents had been to Puerto Vallarta maybe 10 years earlier, and I said, hey, let's go to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico. And I was just trying to, impress her, showing her I could speak a little Spanish. And so, hey, we went and fell in love with Vallarta and fell in love with each other.
And you must have impressed her.
Evidently.
She's here with you today in our viewing audience, so that's awesome. Yeah. All right, so for our viewers that have never listened to the podcast, how would you describe your podcast?
My podcast is a guide to Puerto Vallarta. So it's almost like CPS News, where you talk a little bit about news, what's happening during this period of time. So when people are coming to Puerto Vallarta, they're listening to the podcast, they're making plans, and now I'm telling them about festivals, I'm telling them about what's in the news, what's going on, what it's like on the ground.
So obviously I personally love that because we're kind of doing the same thing but with different mediums. But I think it crosses over a lot, and I think it's really helpful because not everybody is savvy enough, I feel like, to always find our newscast, but podcasts are so mainstream now. I imagine you've got a lot of listeners and a lot of subscribers, I would think.
I do, and I have regular listeners, and then I also have what is... podcast listeners are kind of different, right? They're there to get information, they're there to get news. They're not specifically there all the time to listen to you. So if they're planning a trip to Puerto Vallarta, maybe they find the podcast, maybe they download a whole bunch of the interviews that I do, or different episodes that I do, and they just get ready for the trip. But once that's over, they're gone, right? They're off to go visit some other place. So they come and go.
That's interesting. And maybe if they're anything like my wife, they listen to it in a 5-part segment because she falls asleep so often, and your voice is very soothing.
Well, I put people to sleep. I've been told that, and I've got listeners that listen to me just to go to bed.
Oh, in a good way, though. But they wake up and they somehow know everything about Puerto Vallarta. It's amazing.
It goes right to there.
So back when you were making this podcast, what drove you to make this show? Did you see a void? Did you feel a need here? What got you involved in this?
It was a big mistake. What happened was I was drinking. I was with a friend. I was just, we were talking about how he was having a hard time getting his tour business, selling tickets and so on and so forth. And I said, why don't you do a podcast? And I had just started a podcast for my real estate business. And so I was totally into podcasts. And I said, hey, you could do that. You could sell tours through a podcast. And so that's how it all started.
Okay, and look at you. Now, how long has it been going?
9 years. We're in year 9 now, over 250 episodes, and still going strong.
Congratulations. So
thanks.
You've got all those episodes, all these people you've had the pleasure to talk to. How do you choose your subjects to interview? I mean, what's your criteria, or how do they come at you? Do they find you?
A lot of times, they're just places that I like, people that I like, restaurants that I like, and so I do that. I try to highlight people who are giving back to the community, so I'm looking for different charities and so forth. So I like, RISE, for example, which is Refugio Infantil Santa Esperanza here in town, and it's a local charity, and it's an orphanage, and the people that are running it they're dedicated, they're Americans, and they just kind of dedicated their lives. To me, it's just amazing. It's just amazing stories,
Yeah, and I'm sure the more people you have on, you have a lot of influential people here, a lot of people that are doing local charities, and I'm sure once one does it, then the next person's like, oh, I want to connect to Barry and do that. So maybe your job isn't that hard that you're always hunting down people week to week. Maybe a lot of times you're the hunted.
Well, that happens too, but I also ask my listeners to send me recommendations. So
great.
if they think that I should be talking about something, I say, hey, send me an email. And I get lots of emails like that. And so I get a lot of help from my listeners.
Okay, so we're running out of time, but I do have another question I want to ask. Yeah. So of all these 250 newscasts, it's probably, or podcasts, sorry, used to what I'm doing here.
Yeah.
You know, it might be hard, but do you have a favorite, you know, episode or interview that you've recorded? You know, do you have one that stands out to you? You're like, that was a good one.
Well, we had a great one here with you,
Oh,
Brent.
you're just being nice.
I
now.
am being nice, but
it works.
I'm being serious.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Because my listeners, they're a lot like your listeners, like your viewers, I should say.
Yeah.
But I had one where I met a guy named Rambo. And if you know the place, if you know the town, Rambo is a guy who was electrocuted. He lost the use of his fingers. His fingers were burned off. He was in a terrible accident. He was a painter, and he was holding a ladder, and it hit electrical wires, and it just arced all over him. And he was a very scary kind of a guy to approach. But and he was scary looking, you know, he was just a little bit different, right?
He is Rambo.
He is Rambo.
Okay.
But I was able to talk with him. His English was very good. And I think that particular episode, I think, helped him a lot. I mean, it helped, you can tell that his life changed after that episode.
Well, when you tune into his podcast and you subscribe to it, search for Rambo, maybe even search for me, but there's some good ones out there. I appreciate it. We are out of time, unfortunately. Barry, thank you so much for coming in. Be sure to find Barry's podcast. You can find it on Apple Podcasts. You can find it on Spotify or whatever podcast player you enjoy. We'll also put up a QR code for you to make sure you can find it. Thank you so much for coming in, Barry. I really, really appreciate it. It's so nice to finally get you on the show.
Brent, I appreciate your time, and I really love your show. And yeah, come watch us over at www.puertovallartravelshow.com.
Absolutely. All right, we got to move on for now. We'll see you next week on Voice of Viarta, and here's Joe with our next story.
A tragic accident occurred last week in the popular beach town of Solita, Nayarit, when a 37-year-old Italian tourist lost his life after falling from a rental property. Authorities identified the victim as Giacomo N. According to the Municipal Civil Protection Department, a 911 call in the early hours of the morning reported an unconscious man near a swimming pool. Paramedics rushed to the scene and found the man beside the pool with severe injuries, including exposed brain matter, injuries consistent with a fall from significant height. Unfortunately, he was already deceased. The area was quickly secured by municipal police and officers from the Criminal Investigation Agency to preserve the scene and begin gathering evidence. At this time, the exact cause of the fall remains under investigation. Authorities have not released further details, and it is still unclear whether the incident was accidental or involved other factors. The case is ongoing as officials work to determine how this tragic event unfolded in one of Mexico's most visited beach towns. With information from Israel Torres, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
Thanks for that information, Joe. We're going to keep you updated on that. Now, taking care of your health just got a whole lot easier with Hospital Hoya, of course. Whether you need a full checkup, lab work, imaging, or a visit with a top specialist, they have you covered. Do you need care fast? Their emergency room is open 24 hours a day with an ICU ready for serious cases. They even have a special pediatric unit just for kids. To book an appointment, call 322-226-1010 or 322-226-8181. And be sure to follow Hospital Hoya on social media for the latest deals and health tips. Hospital Hoya, your health and your family's health comes first.
Thanks, Brent, for that health news, or, mention.
It's what I do.
But now David's here with sports information. How are you, Dave?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
I'm great.
We're doing good. I hear about some exciting stuff's coming up. I hear my friend Michelle Friedman, the Secretary of Tourism in Jalisco.
Yes.
I only say my friend because I've interviewed her once.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, there's some
close.
announcements coming up for that.
We're tight.
She's in there. She's
All
in
right,
there.
all right.
Tell
Can't
us
wait to
all
hear
about it, Dave,
I sure
please.
will. I sure will. All right. Thanks, guys. It's time to talk sports. I'm David, and here's what is making headlines this week from the world of athletics, with a spotlight on our local Viarta talent representing at the national and international level. We kick things off with huge news for para sports. 4 Viarta athletes Emilia Chanes, Ade Noeme Castellanos, Pulith Langoretti, and Incy Belen Huyendoje Villegas Perez. That was a tough one. Will proudly represent Team Mexico at the City Para Swimming World International Series Mexico 2025, one of the top adaptive swimming events in the Americas. The competition takes place at the Parque Acuático Metropolitano in Guadalajara, where elite swimmers from all over the continent will go head-to-head. Special shout out to Emilia Chanes, who is already part of the Mexican national team. These young athletes are ready to chase medals, break records, and make Puerto Vallarta proud on the international stage. Now to the business of reviving Vallarta's sports legacy. The Secretary of Tourism for Jalisco, Michelle Friedman, has announced a push to bring back some of Vallarta's most iconic sports events like triathlons, road races, and cycling competitions. It's part of a broader plan to boost sports tourism and position Puerto Vallarta as a world-class athletic destination. Officials are evaluating which events can be revived and strengthened, not just to drive short-term tourism dollars, but to build a lasting identity and economic ecosystem around athletic tourism. Friedman says this is about more than sports. It's about creating jobs, visibility, and long-term value for the community. And last, but definitely not least, 8 athletes and coaches from CDR Puerto Vallarta have joined Team Jalisco as they head to the Olimpiada Nacional in Manzanillo, Colima. This is the biggest amateur sports event in Mexico, running from June 20th to June 30th, and it's where the best young talent in the country competes at the highest level. These Vallarta athletes have trained hard, put in the hours, and now have a shot at bringing medals home. Not just for Jalisco, but for Puerto Vallarta. Local sports authorities say this is proof that investing in high-performance training at the grassroots level pays off. And that's a wrap on this week's sports segment. To our swimmers, runners, and future Olympians, Puerto Vallarta is behind you all the way. And big thanks to Fernanda Borges, as always, for keeping us in the loop with the latest sports updates. I'm David, and now Jesse and Brent, back to you.
All right.
Good stuff, Dave. So I'm
right.
pretty excited about it. So I love that they're bringing triathlons back here. I used to actually be a triathlete and used to do them. They might be past me now, but maybe you and I do a triathlon together. What do you think?
If it's a relay one, I kind of swim like a rock. So
Just think.
I'll do the relay. I can run and bike.
Okay, so Jesse, you swim. I'll run. You bike.
We are a set triathlon team. We just figured this out now.
Wait, can you swim or do you sink?
I can swim.
Yes,
All right.
we got it.
Good,
Can't wait to see us out there.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much. Michelle Friedman, oh my gosh, I love what she's doing with Vallarta. You know, all of the tourism that she's bringing in here. Thank you so much. Kudos to you. And now let's go over to a quick word from our sponsor, Mari Galante. Yes, the legendary pirate ship. Let me tell you a little bit about them. Well, they're fully renewed. They have an immersive pirate show, incredible acrobatics, special effects, music, water activities, and an experience you will never forget. Take advantage of a limited time 45% discount on the exclusive premium menu. Savor the delicious beef medallion with lobster, filet mignon with shrimp, or irresistible vegetarian and vegan options like pirate-style lasagna or ratatouille. But that's not all. Your VIP menu includes a premium open bar with top shelf brands like Grey Goose, Don Julio, Jack Daniels, Buchanas, and so many more. Plus, meet Josefino, the new pirate ship mascot, and do not forget to snap a selfie for the memories. Food, fun, fantasy await you aboard. Book now at pirateshipvallarta.com and live the Mari Galante experience like a true VIP pirate. Ahoy!
Well, I'm glad I survived them on set last week. Did you watch?
They didn't kill you.
They went so crazy. I had a musket to my head. They took over the set. I don't think we should have pirates here anymore. I'm a little worried about them.
I was worried about you, but Too bad they didn't take you.
You got no phone. Too bad they didn't take you. Nicely done, nicely done. Okay, we've got the entertainment section coming up, but first of all, it's time for, we're going to change it up a little bit. It's on this day, but I'm going to throw a couple at you, and you might have one to throw back.
Okay, give me,
All right,
give me
you
what's
ready?
today,
We'll see how it goes. All right, so first of all, it is National Fudge Day.
Oh, yum.
National
yes, I can live with that. A little
You
fudge
can-
in my life.
You can survive that one? Okay, fair enough, fair enough. It's also Ride to Work Day on your motorcycle.
Oh, gosh, I don't have one, but you can let me borrow yours.
Yeah, just pick one. Which one would you like? You can let me know. Or not. It's
Be
not
careful out
like,
there, okay, with the bikes.
Yeah, it's not like let Jesse crash your motorcycle day. It's not. Now get this one. It is Take Your Cat to Work Day, but wait, there's more.
Oh.
It's also Take Your Dog to Work Day.
Oh.
That sounds like a disaster. Could you imagine that under our desk here?
That's true. I didn't think of it like that. That's crazy. Do you have a cat or a dog?
No, neither. I have a
Nothing.
motorcycle.
Okay. Well, I have a dog, and I might bring my dog in next year.
Your dog's big.
Well, you know what? There's also, it's
Okay.
also another different day today. Oh, shoot. I don't remember what it is. Oh, I didn't write it down.
Well, I think based on my notes, you might have been wanting to say it's
Oh, I
World Turtle
remember.
Day.
Yes, it's true. And it's also Tapas Day. So
Oh.
today you can enjoy and,
Little
you know,
foods.
yeah.
Little taste.
Some tapas and take care of the turtles here in Puerto Vallarta.
Just don't mix those two up and have turtle tapas. We don't want
no,
those
we
at
don't
all.
want to that.
All right. Good job, Jesse. That was fun doing it with you. But now it's time to go to commercial. We'll be right back. I hope you enjoyed that on this day with
All right, we are back, and now we're gonna check out what is up in the hood. We're gonna go see what's happening in June here in Puerto Vallarta and Bahía de Banderas. How's that?
Let's do it. How about the entertainment section? Let's go.
Calling all actors. Teatro Sin Borders is holding auditions for Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike by Christopher Durang. Auditions are June 20th and 21st at the American School in the Marina Viarta, with callbacks on June 22nd. All ages, ethnicities, and experience levels welcome. Beginners included. Can't attend in person? Online auditions are available. The play runs late November through early December. For details and to sign up, visit teatrosinborders.com/auditions. Don't miss your chance to be part of this amazing production. Step into the captivating world of collagraph art. The exhibition Impressions by Cuban artist Joaquin Bolivar Thomas is now showing at Art Vallarta Gallery, running through June 28th. Visit Monday to Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Pilitas 213 Zona Romantica. More info at artvallarta.com/Joaquin. Every Wednesday in June, join Art Walk at Galleria Omar Alonso from 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. and experience Fragments of Salt through a special guided tour with the artist Cecilia Fernandez. Explore her vision of Puerto Vallarta, reimagined through time. Oh, don't miss this unique artistic journey. Returning June 18th. Dream Dialogue is back. If you missed our last circle, Justice Isaiah guided us through powerful insights on how to understand and analyze our dreams. Join us again for another magical night filled with whimsical dreams and deep discoveries. This time, experience the evening with Kennedy Morgan Medium at the Mystic Circle Coffee Bar and Lounge. Don't miss out on this special journey into your subconscious. See you June 18th at Mystic Circle, where dreams come to life. Looking for a creative space to share your stories and connect with fellow writers? Join the Writing Club this Tuesday, June 17th, from 3:30 to 5 for an inspiring session of words and ideas. Everyone's welcome, and best of all, it's free. All at the Living Room Bookstore and Cafe. August 12th to 16th, the Viarta Botanical Gardens welcomes you to the vibrant Hummingbird Festival. Celebrate these dazzling little birds with a week full of guided tours, colorful art workshops, and fun photo challenges for all ages. All activities are included with your general admission. Don't forget, workshops require same-day registration at the Hall of the Flowers, so arrive early to secure your spot. Come experience the magic of hummingbird season and connect with nature in a truly colorful way. See you at Viarta Botanical Garden, August 12th through the 16th. Okay, that's a wrap for this week. Stick around for more news.
Thank you so much. Now, those events were brought to you by Don Coco Restaurant and Bar, which is right here in Marina Vallarta. Why don't we check it out real quick?
Don Coco Restaurant Bar, freshness isn't just a detail, it's the heart of everything we do. Every dish is made to order. Vibrant ceviches, perfectly spicy aguachiles, and micheladas so cold they feel like a hug from the sea. Located right in front of Marina Vallarta's most beautiful pier, Don Coco has it all. Breathtaking ocean views, feel-good vibes, bold flavors, and an atmosphere that hooks you from the very first sip. And if you're lucky, you might just bump into the legendary Don Coco himself. Don't miss our 2-for-1 margarita happy hour, and be sure to try the cocktails that are becoming the talk of Vallarta. Find us in Proa, Local 18, corner of Yates in Marina del Rey. Call or WhatsApp to order ahead, 322-688-1887. Don Coco, where bold flavor begins and the good vibes of Vallarta come alive.
Next up, here's our next story tonight.
Puerto Vallarta just wrapped up a spectacular celebration, marking 25 years of cinematic excellence with the International Film Festival, held from June 13th to 16th. Organized by the University of Guadalajara's Centro Universitario de la Costa, this year's edition featured free screenings of 7 feature films and a short film block across 5 different venues, including Cinépolis Pitial and the elegant Top Sky Bar. The festival kicked off with a powerful opening night, where director Pancho Rodriguez was honored with the prestigious Golden Liguana Award for his film Abracadaver, which premiered that evening. Another standout moment was the recognition of Alejandra Marquez Abella, known for A Million Miles Away. Audiences enjoyed a diverse lineup of films, from animated shorts and LGBTQ+ stories to documentaries and local music culture. The event also featured a masterclass at Biblioteca Los Mangos and panel discussions with filmmakers and industry voices, offering a space for reflection and connection. Once again, Puerto Vallarta proved itself not just as a beach destination, but as a cultural beacon for cinema lovers. With information from Fernanda Bojorquez, Joe Wasik, CPS News.
I missed this festival because I was out of town this weekend, but wow, looks like it was amazing. Now, talking about amazing, have you been to a wedding in the Mascota area? I've been hearing it's becoming a super popular spot for destination weddings. Let's check it out with Bob for more.
Today we spotlight Mascota, Jalisco, a charming pueblo mágico just east of Puerto Vallarta and the Bahía de Banderas that's quickly becoming a top destination, not just for rural and adventure tourism, but for romance as well. Mascota's stunning colonial architecture and breathtaking natural landscapes have long attracted visitors seeking nature, culture, and adventure, like hiking and mountain biking. But now, the town is gaining fame as a romantic getaway, with couples choosing to tie the knot here in beautiful settings. Antonio Salcedo Segura, Mascota's tourism director shares that the town hosts about 8 to 9 weddings each month, especially from October to May, when the weather is perfect for outdoor celebrations. Popular wedding venues include Sierra Lago Resort and Spa, the Parish of Our Lady of Sorrows, the Unfinished Temple of the Precious Blood, El Quinto El Pedregal, and several scenic ranches. If you're dreaming of a wedding surrounded by nature's beauty and colonial charm, Mascota might just be your perfect destination for love and celebration. With information from Adolfo Torres, Bob Barsanti, CPS News.
Well, it's good it's motorcycle day because Mascota happens to be one of the places I really enjoy riding my bike to.
It's a very nice place. I have not been to Tierra Luna yet, but it is on my bucket list, so maybe soon.
I hope so. So, how exciting is it with all these film festivals? Like we had one this past weekend. We've got one coming up in a couple months. I mean, wow.
Yes, with so much talent here in Puerto Vallarta and people that like to film stuff, I'm so happy that they're bringing it here to Puerto Vallarta. The one that I missed, that was fantastic. And the one that's coming up, that's gonna be incredible. I'm so excited. Thank you everyone that's bringing this festival.
Can't wait to be on the red carpet with y'all for that one. Big film people here, cannot wait. But you've also reached the end of the newscast for today, so thank you so much for tuning in to our little newscast, and so happy to have you, and hopefully we'll see you again next week.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know. Give us a like, give us a little heart, or send us a message. And if you want to be part of this newscast, let us know too. We'll see you next week.